Welcome back to Book by Candace. My name is Candace, and I'm an actress balancing auditions, a 9 to 5, and reading some incredible books by incredible authors, all while waiting for and preparing for my big break. I'm trying to get booked on a set or on a stage. If that's of interest to you, if that's a journey you want to follow, make sure you subscribe to this channel. In today's video, I want to share with you 5 plays with monologues that are my go-to for auditions, or if I just want to get into practice, or they're honestly my dream roles. So let's get into it. The first monologue is from a play called Wine in the Wilderness by Alice Childress. This is honestly like probably my most performed monologue. Now, as you can see, this is not entitled Wine in the Wilderness by Alice Childress. I don't have the physical play in my bookshelf, but I was introduced to that play through this book. It's called Monologues for Actresses of Color, or Actors of Color, excuse me. And there are so many different playwrights of all different ethnicities, not just Black, that are represented in this book. And the very last one, funny enough, it's for Wine in the Wilderness. As you can see, it's very much so marked up, which goes to show how much I've worked on this. And basically, the play is set in the 1960s. It follows this painter. His name is Bill, and he's producing this triptych piece called Wine in the Wilderness. And it's basically in 3 installments or 3 parts. The first part is Black girlhood. It represents the innocence of Blackness. The second part, it's the regality of Africa, like it's the ideal woman, what we should ascribe to be as Black women. And then the third piece is the one that's kind of rough around the edges. It represents everything that's sort of wrong with Black women in the 1960s, at least what Bill thought was wrong. And in this monologue, what makes it so great is Tamara Marie, who he, asked to be a part of the piece and to represent that part of the triptych. She finds out why she's there, her purpose, and she confronts him. She's like, no, I am Wine in the Wilderness just as I am, and I don't have to subscribe to your respectability politics to be considered a beautiful woman, a woman of value in society. So this is a great audition piece, or if you just want to read it, it's so well written, and I don't know, you should definitely check it out. The second monologue that I really, really enjoyed, I've only actually done it for class. I've never done it for an audition, I don't think. But it is August Wilson's 7 Guitars, Vera's monologue. I did this monologue when I was in the Juilliard Extension program. Well, not just the monologue, I did a scene and then there's a monologue in the scene. So in this scene, it's in the beginning of the play. It's Act 1, Scene 2. It's basically Floyd coming to Vera. They've been in this on-again, off-again relationship. And he's like trying to convince her that he wants to pursue this dream of recording an album in Chicago. He's relying so heavily on this woman, but also abandoning her. And she's like, you don't really respect me. You go out and you sow your royal oats to everybody else, and you don't listen to what I'm saying. You're never going to listen to what I'm saying. He says that he wants Vera. He says that he wants to be with her, but his actions, his behavior does not reflect that he actually wants her. And so she just lays it all plain. I honestly feel every Black actor, actress should have an August Wilson monologue in their back pocket. He's quintessential. He's so important to the Black theater. If you're going to choose one, I'd suggest this one. The next monologue that I love to go to and that I've used in several different auditions is from By the Way, Meet Vera Stark by Lynn Nottage. And this monologue comes at the end of Act 1. This is another one that's highly marked. And it's a scene really between Vera and Leroy. Leroy is basically trying to figure out why Vera is really willing to shuck and jive for work. More background, right? Um, So, and by the way, meet Vera Stark. It follows the 70-year career of Vera Stark. She's a black actress, but at the start of the show, she is a black maid, and her boss is a white Hollywood starlet. But there's this tension of race, there's this tension, stereotyping blackness, and stereotyping being a maid, and yes, sir, no, sir. And it's like, what are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go to get a role? You know, where's your integrity? That's basically Leroy's question. But Vera stands up for her decisions, and she says, I've dreamt of this since I was a little girl. I've been performing since I was a little girl. This is all I've known. And yeah, when I want something bad enough, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. And I respect that. Because honestly, I can really relate to that. As an actor, like, I'm not going to say there's not anything that I wouldn't do, but I understand the drive and making sure that you do everything you possibly can to get a role, you know? I think everybody has that experience just in life. When you want something, you go hard for it. Like when you really want something, you do whatever it takes. So this is a great audition monologue. It's quick. It's maybe like less than 90 seconds. And it gets the job done. And you can show the layers. You can show the emotional journey that Vera goes on as she's sharing with Leroy why she does what she does. The next really great monologue that I've done before, really only in an audition. I don't do it for like EPAs or anything, but still, I think it would be great. I think it would set you aside if you bring this piece in. It's Katori Hall's The Mountaintop. This play follows the last night of Martin Luther King's life in that fateful hotel, and he has this interaction with a hotel maid named Kame. I feel like that's Kame. Let me know in the comments if I'm saying it wrong. I'm so sorry. It's just their conversation back and forth, and the monologue that I've done is it's really great because she's imitating Martin Luther King, and it's like it's really performance heavy. Like you get to play a character while you're playing a character, which is really fun and interesting. You can really like be preachy with it, you know. You could be Martin Luther King with it. I remember when I did this audition, I went back and watched Martin Luther King videos on YouTube and just tried to imitate him as best as I could and like getting the cadence of his voice, which is really fun as an actor, like the research behind what we do. So yeah, if you're looking for something fun and not goofy, it's very grounded. You have to take it seriously, but there's fun in it, there's play in it because you get to pretend to be somebody else. And when you make it super specific in who you're talking to, like imagining that you're in the room with Martin Luther King, imitating Martin Luther King, like the nerves behind that because he is who he is, but also the fun in the play to get to like do that in front of him. I don't know, it kind of eats. The last play I want to share with you all with a monologue that I have performed for an audition before, but also I was in a production of this play. It was my first equity contract, and it's a little controversial. Slave Play by Jeremy O. Harris. I was blessed to be able to play Kanisha in the Short North stage production of Slave Play back in 2023. And there is a whole soliloquy in Act 3 that Kanisha has. The premise of the play, if you are not aware, there are three interracial couples. They go to this plantation in Virginia and they participate in slave play. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Kanisha is very much into it, and Jim is very reluctant. She's obviously in the slave role, and he is in the slave master role, and he just will not get into it. She needs this really badly. She needs this power in consent. She's already a black woman in society in America, and she's already looked as she doesn't have much of a voice, and she's not given much power or authority. And there is a lot of authority, there's a lot of power in saying yes and submitting to something. Like a dominant cannot force you to do anything. That's not what it's supposed to be. That's not a safe space. They're supposed to receive your consent, and there's power in your yes and there's power in your no. And she's saying yes, but he's denying her that yes, her husband Jim. So in Act 3, she's just sharing her experience as a black woman that he will never understand, and why she really wants to do this. And you know, this experience really taught me, like, I'm an actor, right? It doesn't mean that you're always going to agree with everything that your character does, the choices that they make, but there's truth behind it. And you can always relate to the truth and find a reason, justify how you or the character arrived at the decision or the choice that they made. And I love that. I really grew as an actor because of playing this role. So I definitely, if you want a challenge, or if you want to bring something different, something that's maybe a little taboo, maybe stick out an audition, I definitely suggest you check out Slave Play. Act 3 in particular, there's a lot of talking, okay? It's a lot that Kanisha is saying, and you can section it off nicely, find a nice chunk to make into a monologue, and book it. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me just preface this. The reason why I wanted to share these plays in particular, yes, I read a lot of books, but I also read plays. You know, plays and books, they like cousins. They not too far different. So I like to marry this channel with my acting pursuits and my love for reading and my passion for books. I'm marrying those two together, and I want to share more content like this. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share it. You know, if it's going to help somebody, if it's going to help you, subscribe. And I want to know what else you would like to see. Let me know in the comments, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Stay booked.